Prime Minister Philip Davis is tonight speaking against a Supreme Court ruling which granted a woman divorce on the grounds of cruelty and not rape, despite her saying that she felt like a victim. According to the Sexual Offenses and Domestic Violence Act, there can be no rape in marriage. While government has promised to address marital rape in the past, there is still no clear direction on how or when. Devontae Hanna joining me live in studio with more on this. Devontae?
Yes, well, good evening, Janea. As the discourse on marital rape continues, many are pleading with government to make the necessary amendments to the law. Earlier today, Prime Minister Davis adding his part to that debate, making clear that he believes rape is physical abuse, whether in or out of marriage. And for that, he says he cannot subscribe to that Supreme Court ruling on divorce handed down to that woman who claimed her husband forced himself on her. However, as the ruling pointed out, the rules on the law books had to be followed.
It's curious that a judge can say that a woman who claims that she was raped by her husband cannot use that as a ground of divorce when physical abuse could be, and rape is physical abuse.
Last week, Monday, Supreme Court Justice Denise Lewis Johnson granted a woman divorce from her husband, who she says repeatedly forced himself on her, leaving her to feel like a rape victim for an extensive period of time. In that ruling, the court accepted rape as a heinous act of cruelty. However, according to Bahamian laws, there is no rape in marriage.
Violence is violence. I don't like describing rape at all. I think marital is descriptive, that detracts from the substance of what rape is all about.
That ruling reigniting calls for government to take action on marital rape, an issue which Prime Minister Davis says is not in their blueprint for change. This despite Social Services Minister Obi Wilshcombe telling reporters that it's time to, quote, get on top of the issue. Well, tonight, a local activist, Alicia Wallace, says she is tired of the sweet nothings of government, noting that a change in law can change the course of life for many Bahamians.
Since this administration was formed, politicians have been commenting on gender-based violence, many of them telling us what we already know. Violence is unacceptable, violence is wrong, and something must be done. But it's a year later, and this administration has yet to take action on one of the most pressing issues.
While not specifically mentioning marital rape, Prime Minister Davis assures government will do due diligence in the fight against all forms of violence and abuse.
It's become too prevalent in our society. We are becoming too antisocial. Relationships are being stretched by reasons of egos and personalities and all the external issues that impact relationships, and we need to be able to address those by getting to the root causes of why people act in the way they do.
Well, Wallace is again calling out government and is calling Davis's comments today empty. And she says this administration, like many before it, continue to prioritize the economy as if the economy does not depend on and is not meant to serve the people. As a result, she is making an appeal to this administration to take meaningful action. Reporting live in studio, I'm Devontae Hanna. Back to you, Janelle.